few. Some are easy to get over, and some get under you. Some I've carried like points of pride.
We're the East End Radicals. I'm Scott, I play guitar and I sing in the band.
I'm Matt, I play drums.
I'm Brent, I play bass and backup vocals.
I'm Eric, I play guitar.
Talk to me about Carrion Sound. How would you describe the sound of this record to someone who may or may have not heard you guys before?
Yeah. Well, I think for us, like when we sort of came together as a band, like we talked about like what our influences were, and you know, we like bands like Rancid, Social Distortion, and kind of like a lot of that like '90s California punk rock. And we sort of started from there, and I think there's a lot of that on the album. I think like for definitely fans of Rancid, it's definitely something like that. But we also sort of pull things from like Celtic things as well, like Celtic sort of bands like Drunken Murphys and Flogging Molly. I think like for like if you're a fan of like '90s punk rock, like in all its different varieties, I think there's like a flavor of that on each song for somebody there. So I think that's kind of where we're coming from with the album.
So what's your favorite song off Carrion to play live? Which song translates really well?
Ooh, some good ones. What do you like?
Man.
I like all of them. I like
It's hard to choose that.
maybe Last of the Free.
Yeah, Last of the Free's
I
good.
think I really like it.
My favorite, I think, is Ship Away.
Yeah, the Celtic ones, right?
My favorite is actually Carry On. That's my favorite.
Carry On. There's a lot of like good ones with a lot of like big choruses and like gang vocals and stuff like that.
Nice.
And, like doing them in the studio was a lot of fun. So that just like sort of like when like it's good now to like see like people singing the songs with us. Like that's what we imagine when we record the songs. Like this is the part where everyone's singing with us. So like those for me are kind of like the favorite ones.
So the album is pretty political in certain spots. You focus a lot on what's going on with the economy right now. Is there any like specific events that inspired certain songs, or?
A couple things for sure. A couple things.
Yeah, I guess like with kind of in like 2008 and like the sort of recession beginning there with, you know, like Wall Street and like the recession starting there, I think that inspired a lot of the songs. And it's just like, I think just in general, like for me personally, I don't know, like when we look at like the world that's happening around us, it becomes like less and less familiar. It's not what we want for our future. And you know, I think it's like, and you know, for a punk band, you know, you can sing whatever you want, but like for me, if you're gonna be a punk band, it's like there's only one world to talk about, and it's the one that we're living in, and that's what we see about this world, and like what we see is happening is like with, you know, people focusing so much on money and like the people like with their greed and envy, and it's just, it's something that we feel that you have to address. You know, it's like something you can't just ignore.
So what drives you to write, it's a little bit along the same lines, what drives you to write material that leans towards political subject matter rather than like any other topic?
Well, I guess because it matters, right? I mean, it's important to talk about things that people, you know, won't normally, well, I don't even know what I'm saying.
No, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I personally think like, you know, if like listen to top 40, all the songs are about like whatever, having fun and like love and all that stuff, and those are the ones that are cool for like a specific amount of time, and then eventually they'll die out. But I don't know, I find with punk rock, if you choose, and this goes with any other songs that are like about protests, with any other kind of genre, but like when you sing a song with a message, those are the ones that are kind of cool. Those are the ones that actually hit the fans, and it's like, I don't know, those are the ones that just kind of don't die. Those are kind of like, it sounds good, and there's something that's important about it at the same time. So I don't know, I mean,
yeah,
trying to make political songs.
And even for us, like, you know, being a band is like, it's something that takes up your time. Like, this is something that we put a lot of effort into, and it's like, we're not gonna like put all our time and effort into something that doesn't mean anything to us, you know, like to me that seems pointless to do that. So, you know, if we're gonna do this and we're gonna be a band and like take the time to record an album like that we're gonna pay for ourselves to do, you know, we're gonna talk about stuff that's important to us and not just like some meaningless thing to grab people's attention.
Did you have any like specific intentions or goals you wanted to achieve when writing this record?
We wanted to tour, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing, like that, like, you know, like when in the way like the music industry and things work, it's like, you know, a CD is only like it's your calling card, right? It's harder and harder to get people to buy them, but what it is like, this is what we represent, and we want to come play like in your town, you know. So it's like if people know you have an album, it's like that's the more incentive to like come out to your show and come see you and like actually interact with us, you know. Like that's the like punk bands. That's what punk bands are about now. Is like meeting the bands and going to see those bands. You know, records are great, and I think like a lot of people, you know, a lot of other bands like put a lot of effort into that, and we did too, to make something like a real tangible object, like a work of art kind of thing, something that's solid. But for us, it's like we made this record so we can go tour behind it, and we want to go play it for people, you know, not just them listen to it, because they can do that any other way, but it's better, the record sounds better when we play it live to them. You know?
So talk to me about the recording process a little bit. How do you guys go about writing your songs? Does the fine-tuning happen live, in practice?
I mean, we all write songs, all of us. It's like we'll write separately, all of us, and then bring it to practice and show them what we got, and then people will be like, no, I don't like this, I do like that. And then, I mean, we'll change what we don't like, and I mean, keep playing it until eventually it sounds what we like, and then just keep practicing it over and over.
It's like, yeah, it's pretty like a democratic process.
It's
like there's a lot of things that get left off because like it's not like a total agreement sort of thing, but like the what is on the album is something that we were all like, yeah, that's awesome. Like that part's awesome. Like let's do that.
It's one entire compromise, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
But we spend a lot of time on that stuff. Like we make sure we're all happy and we're all happy with it.
Everyone has to like it.
Yeah, everyone has to like it.
What's the most difficult part about recording, and what is the easiest, most enjoyable part for you guys?
Metronome for me.
Yeah.
I hate following a fucking timer. It's annoying. It throws you off. You think it doesn't, but it really does. It makes you feel stupid. But that's the worst part for me, is the metronome.
The humiliation?
Honestly, I guess the worst part is
God, it makes you feel so dumb.
The worst part is just like the hearing it over and over to say, oh, let's go through with this, what's that, and it's just like, oh, after a while you don't even want to hear it anymore. But
I don't know, the little mistakes you make that you can get away with live that you can't get away with recording. You know, like, oh, I didn't hit this right note perfectly. You know, it's like comes out all on the recording, you know.
But the best part of recording to me is like when you reach towards the end and you start hearing your song coming together and you're like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, coming together is probably the best part of recording.
I think that we learned like a lot about recording, doing that. This is our first like full length. We have like some experience doing it like in our other bands that we played in before. But like what you learn is like there's a real like science to making records. Like there's like a technical aspect, and we had Mike Drex from Studio DRX, like right here where we practice upstairs. That he really like did a lot to help us like put in like about like, okay, like you can't just go into the studio and crank your like your amp to like 12, you know, because it's gonna sound crap on the recording. And there was like a lot of things that he had to like work with us to like assure us that it was gonna sound the way we wanted it to sound in the end. And you know, Mike did like a fantastic job. So it's like he was responsible for a lot of like making sure the record sounds the way it did. And he was great too because he really like listened to like our suggestions and like took our input, so it was really good in that sense.
You've recorded something before. You have a 4-song EP that you released last year called Straight Out the Gate. Is there anything new you tried when recording this time around?
Well, last time we did it like in a bunch of different sessions, like spread out, because we were doing it with people that were in the recording studio at Gabriel DT. We were doing it with them at Concordia, and we only had like a certain amount of time, so we were doing it like in the morning or late in the evening. This time we did 6 days like in a row at Studio DRX here, and so that was like a big difference, like doing it like all at once, like doing the drums for like 8 hours or 12 hours, or and then like guitars, so it's like very long, but it's like you're focused, like you have to be like right in the moment doing all your things, so that was a change. I think like having that to do like 12 songs instead of just 4 makes like a big difference as well.
We were also using like a lot more instruments, a lot of small things that do something on the album.
Yeah, so, like we did like mandolin and like acoustic guitar and tambourines and like little sound effects and stuff. Like I think we tried to take the time to make like get all the little details as much as possible.
What do you already brought up touring, but what are your plans to support the new album exactly? How are you gonna tour? Like when are you gonna tour?
I mean, we're starting our second tour July 5th in Montreal with our friends Society's Hills. We're going to the Maritimes, Quebec and Ontario for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then sort of from there we're gonna like into the fall we're gonna be doing a lot of like weekend dates and stuff like that, like Ottawa and Toronto, and just trying hitting as many places like over and over again. Like that's the point of the record, is to get it out to people. So that's the plan.
Okay, one last chance to sell yourselves. What are people completely missing out on without Carrion in their lives? Why should people check you guys out?
We have Singalongs, and I think if people came to our shows,
they would love it.
after hearing our song like 2 or 3 times, they're gonna be singing along to it. I can guarantee it. It's already happened. We've gone back to a couple cities, and people already knew words, and it's like not even on the EP. So it's like I think our songs could catch
Sticking
people's
people's
head.
heads is what I think, and it's good bar music. It's like it's easy to listen to. It's fun to listen to, and
Even like
it's
people
fun to
know like
watch.
punk rock like it too. Like a lot of
Exactly.
people I work with, like they come see us and they love it. It's just like
I mean, everyone loves that stuff, you know. It's like
Yeah, I like to think too that it's like and not to take away like anything from what other people are doing, but like, and I find there's a lot of like people out trying to be like ironic or sarcastic a lot in other songs and stuff like. But like for us, it's like we don't like have time for that. It's like this is like what we're about. Like this is who we are, and like that's what I like about our band and the record. Is like that's what like we're putting out something real. Like this is who we are. We're not trying to be like funny. We're not trying to be smart or something like that. This is what we believe. You know, so that's what I kind of like about it.
When it does drop, where can people get a copy of Carrion?
At shows, come to the show. That's where we're gonna be.
Support.
That's what we're gonna be doing it. So you can come. You can buy it right from us. I think it's gonna be available online as well. We're not 100% about that, right? But you can come get it from us.